Welcome to r/relationship advice. Here are 2 stories of people seeking advice. Story number 1. 24-year-old female says, my best friend ambushed me with my sexual assaulting ex. Throwaway account because my friends know my real one. Needless to say, I'm going through a rough time. A few months ago, my 27-year-old now ex-boyfriend of about 1 year assaulted me. I drank too much at a small get-together, and I ended up getting really sick. I passed out in my bed and woke up in the middle of the night to all my clothes off and him on top of my unconscious body, fingering me. I immediately pushed him off and asked what the frick was wrong with him. Although I didn't press charges, I broke up with him that same night. Well, before this incident, he was very close to my friend group. Everyone loved him, including me. I don't anymore. I feel disgusted at the thought of him. My best friend, 25-year-old female, knew everything. It took me so long just to feel even slightly okay again. I still am not over it. I sobbed to her after it happened, and she supported me. She said she would never speak to him again, and she would make sure he stayed away from me. This past weekend, she asked me to come over to her apartment and hang out. When I got there, I opened the door, and my ex was sitting on her couch. I froze. He got up and begged for my forgiveness. He said he's been texting, calling, and even writing me with no response. My best friend helped him set up this ambush. She said she felt bad for him and that he was really struggling with the friend group and me cutting him off. She wanted us to reconcile. I said frick you to both of them and got the heck out of there. Now, my best friend has been blowing up my phone with apologies. She said she was just trying to help and that she made a huge mistake. I told her to never speak to me again. My other friends are telling me to just talk to her and hear her out, but I refuse. Am I supposed to just forgive and forget the whole thing? I feel violated by both of them, especially the one person that I thought I could completely trust. Here's the first comment. My family has done this to me with my childhood sexual assaulter. They wouldn't tell me he was there, and I'd see him once I showed up to an event. It is really a mind freak, and my personal experience has been that the damage done by the people who were supposed to care for me, protect me, and support me was worse than the initial crime, as awful as that was. I would cut ties with the best friend and not look back. Anyone who can be convinced that that was a good thing to do to their friend is not worth forgiving and keeping around. Here's the next comment. Yeah, a real best friend wouldn't do that. And your other friends should understand why what she did was unforgivable. Keep working on yourself, join a support group, and get some new friends that aren't sexual assaulter sympathizers. Here's the next comment. I'm so sorry that happened. That's awful. You are not obligated to forgive either one of them. If the ex was truly apologetic/remorseful and really understood what he had done, then he would be leaving you alone. Your friend helping him like that, especially knowing what happened, was extremely crappy. Feeling sorry for him is not a good enough reason. It just means she was willing to put his feelings before yours. Your other friends need to understand that it is your life and it is your choice, not theirs. Who you allow into it. You made a decision, and it sounds like you made your intentions clear. Here's the next comment. You absolutely did the right thing. Your ex-boyfriend and now ex-friend are both awful people. You are 100% justified in cutting them out of your life. I'd also consider dumping the rest of the friend group too. Here's the next comment. My best friend sat me down and told me when my ex tried to sleep with her behind my back. She cried because she had to hurt me. That's how a best friend acts. A best friend wouldn't confront you with someone who assaulted you. Frick them both. Here's the next comment. No, you are not supposed to just forgive and forget. I hate that bullcrap of oh just forgive and forget they didn't mean what they said/did. It's easy for others to say those darn words. They are not the ones that suffered at that person's hands. So, if someone says, that I would turn around and say, tell you what, I will forgive and forget when you are assaulted, and forgive and forget your own attacker. FYI, they wouldn't. Your friend is just as much a traitor, and you have every right to tell them both to make love to themselves. Both betrayed and hurt you, and both should feel ashamed of themselves. I'm so sorry this happened to you, and your quote unquote best friend betrayed you like this. You deserve a friend that would 100% have your back, and this friend not only failed you, but doesn't have your back. If she had, she would have told your ex to frick off, and not arranged a meeting to hurt you. Here's the next comment. Is she blanking serious? Oh, it's so difficult for him to live with the consequences of being a freaking sexual assaulter. Won't you just mend our friend group and make everyone's lives easier by dating your sexual assaulter? That'd be great. Thanks. Seriously, frick him, frick her, and frick anyone who doesn't think she's a monster too. Here's the next comment. Cut ties with all if they won't choose sides or trick you with this BS. My ex threatened to sexually assault me, and a month or so later, my best friend, at the time who was also his friend, invited me out and didn't tell me he was there until the last minute. I slapped her in the face. A real friend would never do this to you. I don't know why she even gave him the time of day. Story number 2. My wife went to a high-risk country, coronavirus, with our 2 kids. Against my advice, her flight back got cancelled, and she's freaking out. I feel desperate right now. 2 months ago, my wife decided that she wanted to visit her parents despite the fact that their country is considered a high-risk country during the pandemic. Long-distance flight. I decided that this is out of the question for me, as I would risk unpaid leave, or worse, if I would be stuck in a high-risk country, or if I'd get sick during the holidays and unable to work. We are absolutely depending on my salary right now. It's our only source of income. She still went with our 2 kids, 2 and 4, because she was worried about her older parents who are not doing well, health issues. The problem is that she makes me confirm again and again that I really will not change my mind. Her last words when she left were, how about we cancel the flight and you reconsider whether you're coming or not. And when I told her that she could stay, but I wouldn't change my mind, she went, saying I hate you right now for not going. Now, exactly what I've been afraid of happened. The flight back got cancelled due to the pandemic. My wife is freaking out because she's scared to handle both kids alone and be stuck there. She keeps asking me to pick her up and help her. So, I have to tell her again that I cannot go, because if we are both stuck there, we are screwed. What does she think I'd do? Fly there to be stuck with her? I can't explain how brutal this situation feels. My family is stuck in another country. My kids are crying because they want to go home, and my wife is blaming me because it would be so much easier if I'd be there. I can't really help them, and at the same time, I can't sit around not helping them. So, I'm spending the time calling the airline, checking regulations, etc. What do I do? Here's the first comment. Tell her that you are also upset about the situation, but there is nothing you can do about it. So, you need her to start thinking about how to deal with what is, instead of complaining about crap that can't be changed. You can't get to them, and they can't get to you. So she's going to have to be a grown-up and figure crap out. It sounds like she can stay with her parents, right? So really, she just has to be a mom there instead of at home with you. That needs to be her focus. Here's the next comment. Sorry, there's no advice to give here, but I get the feeling you're venting and need validation. Well, here it is. Your wife is a freaking idiot, and you've done nothing wrong. Here's the next comment. Honestly, the fact that she won't take responsibility for her decision to travel and then blames you is a major issue. She needs to accept she chose to travel, and the worst case scenario happened. Right now, you need to support her and make sure she is as stable as she can be to take care of the kids. Once your family gets back, then have those tough conversations with her on her irresponsible behavior. Here's the next comment. Okay, I'm sure handling 2 kids by yourself in another country might be a bit of a nightmare, but I'm sure she'll cope. End of the day, she's gone now, and it's done, so maybe she can go back and stay with the family she was so desperate to see. Can they not help with the children? Do not travel wherever it is. It's not responsible for you both to be stuck in whatever country it is. If she's a citizen of the country you live in, then I suggest she contact the embassy and ask for advice. They may not be putting on flights for vacationing, but there might be flights to get citizens from abroad home. Here's the next comment. Not sure why she's freaking out. I get that she's stuck there, but she has a roof over her head and her 2 parents. They can help her. Seems like she's not used to handling them alone at all, and now she's being forced to. She needs to stop complaining and just deal with the issue she's created. And once she's able to fly back, she will. She's not benefiting from freaking out. Keep working and let her figure it out. Send her money if she needs it, but this isn't permanent. You both should see it as a vacation that was extended. She chose to go. She gets to deal with the consequences now. Here's the next comment. She needs to blame someone now to feel better about herself. Hopefully she will apologize and admit to her mistakes. You can't go there. The only thing you can do is calling airlines or waiting for some change. Here's the next comment. I have absolutely no empathy for people traveling right now. They risk spreading the virus. They risk getting stuck. They could catch the virus, need hospitalization, and potentially take a local's place. This is even crappier if you travel to countries that are already struggling a lot with hospital occupancy. We saw what happened back in March when borders began closing. It's December now. How does she not take responsibility for traveling right now? Is she dumb, or has she been living under a rock this whole year? Ugh, I feel sorry for their kids. It's not their fault. If they weren't with her, I'd just leave her there alone to give her some time to think about her actions. Here's the next comment. The situation feels brutal because your wife made a crappy decision and now expects you to fix her crappy situation. She's a mom of 2 and knew she was traveling in a global pandemic. She needs to pull on her big girl panties, take a deep breath, calm down, and adult. I'm a mom who has also traveled with kids. She needs to grow the heck up. Thanks for watching.